Hi, my name is Sarah, and today I would love to review this wig for you, which is called Blaze by Estetica in the color Sunlit Blonde. Now, if you want to know how long she is exactly, how the color is composed, what special features she has, how the cap looks from the inside, and how I like her, then stick around and let's get started. So, isn't this another long hair dream come true? I mean, if you love long hair and luscious, gorgeous waves, this style must definitely intrigue you. She's long, wavy, and so lovely to look at. Now, as a matter of fact, Blaze does not belong to me, but she belongs to my friend and wig sister, Steffi, who just recently bought her and hasn't worn her yet herself. And she was kind enough to send her to me so I can show her to you. And she also let me style her a little so she doesn't look like straight out of the box, which isn't the greatest sight. Steffi, thank you so much for lending her to me. I really appreciate it. Now, when she arrives, she's really very piecey, like in those stock photos from the manufacturer. And she's also really shiny. And apart from that, she's also a big face flopper. But luckily, there are some things we can do about it. So what I did is I heat styled her a little with a hair dryer, carefully and on a low setting, of course. But I figured that this is possible with every fiber. You don't really need a steamer. I mean, I used to steam everything, but since I discovered that it's just as doable with a hair dryer, this is so much easier. But you have to be careful not to come too close or too hot, or otherwise you can burn the fibers, of course. I also used a lot of dry shampoo against the shine and brushed her a little, and this is how she looks now, and I must say I really like it that way. Would I wear her? Definitely not. I mean, I'm honest, she's way too long for me. She's really hot. I've worn her for about an hour now because I recorded this review in German first, and I'm already hot, although it's still sort of winter when I'm filming this. But with the regular synthetic fibers and that length, you always also get some kind of heater or something to keep you warm. Let's put it this way. I think she's a gorgeous style. She looks great, and I love the way she looks, but I definitely wouldn't wear her except as an updo. But we'll come to this in a minute. Now, Steffi has the same favorite color from Estetica as I do, and that is their rather new Sunlit Blonde, which was introduced, I think, last year. It's been just a year or a year and a half. And in my opinion, it's the most beautiful light blonde there is for Estetica. And Steffi was also able to get a color code from Estetica because usually you just read the color name. Now, Estetica describes this color as a soft blend of sandy blonde, lightest blonde, and ice blonde with a light golden brown root. And the color code for Sunlit Blonde is 168860R12. Now, if we go by the international color codes, the 16 is a honey blonde, which is blended in somewhere and hiding well because it's a really light, almost platinum blonde. Now, the 88 is called lightest blonde, or some also call the color platinum white, and the 60 is a pure white or silver white. And all of that is on a 12 root, which is a light golden brown as they describe it. Now, in this color combination, the root looks really dark in contrast to those very light and bright colors they use. So for me, the root could even be a little lighter, but that's the only thing I have with this color. Other than that, I think it's a really gorgeous color. I would call this a neutral blonde to cool blonde. It's definitely not a warm color, although there is some honey blonde mixed in, just to give it a blonde appearance, of course, because the other colors are just platinums and whites. So like I said, I really love this color. Now, the wig features a temple-to-temple lace front and a left side monofilament part, and of course I'm going to show you this from up close as always. Now, the lace front is done really well. I really like the amount of fibers they knotted in there. I would say it's the perfect density. It's not too heavily and not too lightly knotted. The knots can be seen in part, but it's not to the degree that this really bothers me. What I don't like, though, is that the lace front is not extended. It ends right here, and you can see where the lace meets the cap. And also, you can see parts of the cap here, which I also don't like. The mono part is done okay. You can see through to my wig cap even. So it's not too densely knotted. So the lace and monofilament features are fine with me. What I generally don't like about Estetica caps is that they are just basic quality. They use the open wefted caps. That means that they don't have any felted covers on the ear tabs and the nape as the others usually do, like Raquel Welch or Ellen Wille. I'm not a fan of those open wefted caps. And also the metal stays that are inside the ear tab aren't that long and neither that strong. So you always have to pay attention that the ear tabs stick to your head, especially if you run your fingers through the hair. You can see that it lifts the ear tab. So this is something I really don't like, and also that you can't see the cap through because there aren't enough fibers sewn in and not sewn under the ear tab as they sometimes do to prevent this from happening. So you always have to make sure that you wear her rather into your face and not out of your face, and this is something I really don't like. I mean, I do like the Estetica styles, and I just got myself another one. I also had a few, and I like the way they look. I'm just not a big fan of their caps and the craftsmanship of their wig making. And I hope I'm allowed to give you my opinion, because this is also a brand that isn't really inexpensive. I mean, we all know what wigs cost nowadays. And when I compare these styles to other brands, I must say, I think they don't offer the same quality as other brands. But of course, this is something personal and something only you can see. From the outside, of course, people won't notice. In most cases, I mean, if someone gets up really close, they might be able to see those ear tab issues. So I just wanted to let you know. But other than that, I think Blaze is a gorgeous style. Now I will show you the length all around the screen as always, so I won't have to bore you with any numbers, and we can talk about permatease next. And let me tell you, this wig has permatease everywhere. I can feel some in the back at the nape, on top, and also on the sides. There's really permatease everywhere, which of course is needed to hide the cap and the wefts and, you know, the net of the cap, and also to give this more volume, since this is supposed to be a voluminous style. So, as you know, I really don't mind permatease. I even like it in most cases, if it's not visible, of course. And I think those of you who don't like permatease wouldn't get such a voluminous style either, so that's not really a problem. Now, the fibers of Blaze are, like all Estetica fibers, really very fine and made of their regular synthetic. I don't think that Estetica has any heat-defined or heat-friendly fibers in their line. I'm pretty sure I never saw a style that was heat-friendly. So the fibers, of course, are more shiny than the heat-defined fibers from other brands. And I would say the Estetica fibers are especially shiny when you get your wig. Now, of course, you can always use dry shampoo like I did, or simply soak it in cold water or shampoo it and wash it, and you can get rid of the shine. The fibers do feel realistic. You just have a lot of flyaways. Since the denier of the fiber is so fine, they keep flying away and into your face, and you need some product to tame them. But other than that, they look and feel realistic, which is the most important part, of course. Now let me show you Blaze from all sides in all her glory, and after that, of course, also outside in natural daylight. Now, isn't she beautiful? You might have seen I bowed down and looked back up, and she's pretty much stayed out of my face, which of course is due to the styling, the product I used, and the heat I used to redirect the fibers away from my face. Now, when it comes to styling, there's a lot you can do with such a long style. I would say this wig is perfect for updos, especially for a wedding. If you want one of those really big updos with gorgeous tendril curls framing your face, This style should be one of your #1 choices. I can imagine this looks gorgeous in an updo or a half updo, and so on. But I have to say I also like her the way she looks open like this. I think it's a really gorgeous style. I love the waves, and if I would wear her, I think I would wear her like this. Now let's try her with glasses too, as always. And this is not a problem, although she has quite some permatease. There's still enough room between the ears and the ear tabs to wear glasses. Okay, now the sun is hiding behind some clouds today. Nevertheless, is shining really brightly, so I think there's enough light for you to see this gorgeous color in natural daylight. So let's go outside for a moment. Now, isn't this color just gorgeous? I absolutely love it and just got myself another style in this color, which I'm going to show you too, of course. All right, now last but not least, let's have a look at the cap from the inside. So here's the cap from the inside. Here you can see the lace front that isn't really extended. It seamlessly goes into that monofilament part, which is quite deep. It goes down almost all the way back to the crown. And it's also quite wide, so you have enough parting space. Now here are those ear tabs that are just open wefted. They're not covered, and they did sew some fibers under the ear tab, but not all the way through, which is why you can see through to the cap on some spots. The rest of the cap is open wefted, and also the nape is open wefted. It's not covered with felt or velvet, which makes it more itchy and scratchy than usually. Now the adjustable straps are also with these hooks, which I don't like. I think this is a very simple, basic way and a rather cheap, not a very high value cap. And on this side, I noticed that the cap has already torn a little, although this is brand new and hasn't even been worn yet. In my opinion, this is not really a high quality cap, but as I always say, it's just on the inside and people won't really notice. Okay, that was my review of Blaze. I hope it's helpful and you liked it. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss my future videos, and there's a new one coming out each Friday. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will definitely reply. Now, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you're well, stay that way, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. And the color code for Sunlit Blonde is 168860. Because it's a really light, almost platinum blonde. I would say the special you just have to say I also like her the way but I have to say I also. Now, if you like this style, you might also like this one, or also this one, or maybe both.